moving it forward. I made that little sign there years ago. Oh, I can't really remember when. I know I came back from my bike ride. And do I look rested? I came back from a bike ride, 2009, and I got a job here at Pita Pit, $9 an hour. To do the bike ride, I left a job that was paying pretty good. Taking home some good money. After that, I started working at Totem, which was bought out by Rona, so you'll have an idea of what that was. And that little jar there I made to take to a friend's house and hope to get donations. It must have been about 2011 or something, 2012. I can't really remember. But yeah, I got it for that purposes. But you know, I brought it out. I put it to use this year. I mean, starting July 1st, I've been dropping a coin into it. Now, back in the walk, people would ask me why I was doing it, reporters and stuff. I really can't nail down an answer. Really. Well, I probably can. I think that's what I say now is because I can. And that's important. Like, there's so many other reasons. And they never seem to give you enough time to talk about them. They want their one specific little reason, I guess, to put you in a category, of how you value things and how, I guess, people value you. I don't think I've ever felt that comfortable about that. I don't want to be labeled. A person shouldn't be. It inhibits, not for the person to be labeled or even labeling themselves. It's inhibiting you. And I want more value than that. I think the last 10 days, because they're so recent in memory, and it's been all the memories that have got me out there. And I've even recently, within the last few months, somebody told me give up on my memories. I'm often told to, let things pass. But if not for the memories of history, we'll be left to the failings of the past. And I'm looking forward to the future. But as I'm looking into the past, these last 10 days, I don't know, I feel different. I really feel different. In many ways, it was very difficult. And I picked the most difficult, challenging months to go, this is what you'll face. I'm on my feet. There they are. The leg I lifted was the good leg. The bad leg was the one still on the floor. I'm on it. I'm still good. And yeah, this might go lengthily, this little vlog here. And I don't know who's going to be watching it or if many, and it may just disappear in the archives of YouTube. Um, Few do watch. Over the last 2.5 months, the views have accumulated up to, I think, 1,700 views um, in a period of, let's see, 75 days. 76 now, I guess. Um, I, but back to the reasons. You know, 1,001. I think that was just an answer to give. There's so many more reasons. You know, and with each and every person I meet, it's another reason. You know, I am doing it for all, but not all are there to see or recognize the efforts. You know, and the effort. I've traveled 26,000 kilometers under my own power, my own will. And I want to continue. You know, hopefully this in the future, the steps I take on the highway can just be steps into schools and organizations and talk and motivate and, you know, with an in-depth understanding of and value of what people. What's even the word for that? I don't know if I can, but but just, you know, a deep understanding. Even yesterday, I kind of joked because one person just talking with me said, you know, you should be running in politics. I'm like, well, right now I'm planning to run across Canada, and, you know, to run for a change. And I said, you know, I got to focus on the campaign I'm doing now, not, you know, a future campaign of running this country. And I'm like, and yet here I am about to run this country. If at least, maybe I could give a bit of advice to some of the politicians out there about the people and who I met, because I am just getting an array. And it, you know, I was thinking about that. Like, if I ever was to be in Parliament, I sure don't want to be yelling and screaming at people like the way they do, and being foolish and not listening. Like, I do believe the requirement of opposition, but I think civil opposition would be better. But, you know, I kind of getting emotional here, just, you know, thinking about the people I've even met over the last few days. Um, you know, I'm I'm definitely not thinking about getting right into politics or anything like that. But it was just funny. I've got it a couple of times, or maybe more than that, quite a few times. Um, but I definitely do have people. These people that I've met, you know, including myself. I'm out here to try to best represent their reasons. You know, I came out here, like, starting with the walk. A lot of reasons, but, you know, with each person I meet, there's just so many more reasons. You know, it's hard to explain. Yeah, man, you got to be there. You know, when I turn off I'm showing the camera, and, you know, I'm talking. You know, I'm showing the videos, but you know, these. If I see somebody about to talk to me, I do my best to shut this thing down. Sometimes even if I see people approaching, I shut it down, just so I can have that value time with them, and I know they appreciate it. Just to have that person that I don't know. I'm not out there to really cause hope, but maybe display faith. And maybe hope sometimes goes into faith. You know, but faith is powerful. You know, I know those people are out there. You know, and I know they're looking, and I don't know. But I got a lot of work to do. You know, today I did rest, but that's something you need to do, and just let the everything just kind of go. Um, but now, as I'm getting ready to lay down for the night, um, I think the thoughts and the reflections are hitting me again. Um, you know, I really want to be there. I really want to be there. Um, I don't want to be there beyond. The road I've chosen is very long and very tough. 850 days. And I know I'm going to meet a lot more people out there. And when I say 1,001 reasons, each one of those days, 850 days that I'm going to be out there, that's taken up a lot of reason. And I think it's almost disturbing to know that each and every one of those single days, those 850 days, there's going to be more and more reason to continue. A moment ago here, just before I started this up, I was thinking, which you got to struggle with. The reasons to stay and the reasons to go, and some of those reasons to stay are also the reasons to go. So they end up getting outmatched by the push to get out there again. I want to, when I stay and be around, I want to be the man that as a child I wanted to be. That's what I said when I was young, and going through a lot of the trauma that I went through. And it was trauma. I think people expect you to move on. The reason I can't move on is if I do so, I do it in guilt. Like I can't turn my back knowing that some of the same struggles that I went through, somebody is going through it right now. The same conflicts. Some have gone down different paths. I talked to a gentleman there the other day who had a wonderful life. And then the trauma hit out of the blue, and he's recovering. But that's what there and back is about, is the recovery. But myself, yes, I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted that way, but the reasons to go again are outnumbering the reasons to stay, and it's not taken away from any of the value of staying and living a normal active life. But the guilt of knowing that just the faith and the hope, and that I can bring, I hope, to people, knowing I've gone there, I've been there. And to some, just the inspiration of showing distance and dedication and stuff. There's a value in that. So I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm also impacted. It's hard out there. It is. you start to get the shivers and you got to take care of it quick. And, I dealt with the cold. You have to take care of it quick. Um, you got to get the dry clothes on. Um, and, speaking of conflicting and let's say in competition of, your whole body mechanism is, one is competing with the other. One is trying to keep warm. The other is trying to rebuild. You're exhausted. You want to shut down. And yet, as tired as your muscles are, you're shivering. Your body is shaking those muscles. Saying, no, you got to keep going. You got to keep me warm until, you do something about this. And, that's that's tough. I did it. I'm here to talk about it. That's facing cold winter conditions, but not even at that. Even just above freezing, it's that way too. When the core gets to a certain temperature, one reason to stay, one reason to stay in the warmth, But that's just one, and I have thousands and thousands of reasons to go now. Um, so I don't know, but no, what you end up leaving behind, who you leave behind, you know, um, that's what kind of gets you there. Um, saying to myself sometimes, um, just because of what I accomplished, um, I in a way belong to that. If you can understand that, um, I'm kind of obligated to keep moving and trying to keep moving. You know, and that's back to that promise I made to that you know kid in his mid-teens that said, if I can be an adult and I can make a difference, I'm going to do my best to make a difference. And here I am still going, and that's never going to end, and I can't fight that. So you know, even before all the trauma, even as a kid, my I always had the drive to want to be uh, that man with. Oh, I gotta get it cut, but the man with the great big white beard. That man on top of the mountain that people go up and ask a question. Oh, wise men of the mountain. I have this problem. How can I solve it? And for me to give the answers, I mean, a very young kid when I thought that, and I was always, you know, I see people, men with white beards. I'm like, I want to have that one someday. I had it earlier in the year, it just didn't look good. I'll wait till it turns a little bit more white and a little bit older. But that's really the what I want, to try to find all those answers and get out there and the only way to do it is to get out there and meet people and talk to people and somewhere along that road and all those people that you meet, you find them. And I think one of the things that I really noticed, and I talked to a array of, you know, races, you know, uh, and it's there's no difference, you know. There's just none. The same look, the same questions, the same answers. Um, because I think about that where, and I thought years ago, and I think people still ask, well, why don't you go all the way around the world? Well, I'm comfortable in my country, and it's a multicultural country, where everyone has the opportunity that others have, you know. Um, but yeah, I talk to an array of people, and Just it was a reminder over the 10 days, as much as even my friends, just how the same and equal and the emotions and everything, the passion, and it's all there, it's all equal. We're all divided up with different structured beliefs, and yeah, I guess that's probably the right terminology, structured belief, what has been set up for us to believe, in parts. And it may unify communities, but communities end up being divided up because of this segmented, structured belief. But boy, when you come down to the raw elements of who we are as humanity, man, we're all the same. We really are. So, sorry. Look, I still got to figure out the kilometers I did. But, I'll give you an estimate. 270 kilometers in 10 days. So, yeah, 27, there were about 27 kilometers a day on average. And a lot of that time was spent, talking with people and hearing their comments. But yeah. Anyways, I got something to do here. That part of my dedication, part of my my New Year's resolution. That's been my New Year's resolution is 30 years in the making. Something that you can't leave behind. Something that has driven me to where I am. And so I want to make a difference. So anyways, here's my contribution. Besides my words and meeting people and talking and inspiring them. But here's my 10 days. $1 a day isn't asking much. But, and I think the value of what I just did over the last 10 days was significant. It moved people. And, sure, $10 for 10 days, doesn't seem much, but like if I could get everyone to do that, while I'm out there doing and making my effort, because it was a big effort, and it was compensated by people, their smiles, their talks, their concerns, their donations, their support. I received a little bit more than $10 out there, and for this guy, donations did come from my effort towards his effort. So we'll see what comes here, folks. I got a lot of months and weeks and days and years to go. And I'm going to keep committed to the best of my ability. Because we all find ourselves at one time or another, or many times after another, we find ourselves handicapped. You know, some physically, um, some spiritually. I find that, where we've lost our way and we find ourselves struggling, to even believe in what we're capable of, and sometimes it's just the handicap is right there, you know. Yeah. And sometimes, as I showed you before, sometimes it comes down to this: standing up on your own 2 feet, put one foot after another, and just taking those steps to wherever you need to go, you know. And don't let the squeak of the door scare you, because whatever you want to accomplish, it's out there.